Okay, 27D, we're going to do 4, 5, and 6. So 27D, 4 through 6. Number 4, many observational studies conclude that low-fat diets protect against cancer and cardiovascular events, heart attack, stroke, and so forth. What is an observational study? You run around and ask people, okay? And if you run around and ask people, it seems that people who have low-fat diets are healthier. Experimental results, however, are generally negative, meaning when you take two groups of people and you treat one with low fat and you treat one by not doing, or you control the other one, then it turns out that's not the case. In 2006, the Women's Health Initiative published its results. This was a large-scale randomized trial on women who had reached menopause, which means elderly women. As one part of the study, 448,835 women were randomized, 19,541 were assigned to the treatment group and put on a low-fat diet. The other group was assigned to the control group and ate as they normally would. And they were followed for 8 years. Among other things, the investigators found that 1,357 women on the low-fat diet experienced at least one cardiovascular event, meaning heart attack, stroke, or so forth, compared to 2,088 in the control group. Can the difference between the two groups be explained by chance? Hello? Yeah. Oh, yep. Yeah, it showed up. So just type in my name. It says Land Trust digital signature needed. So, and then I click yes, I participated. Yep, it's done. Piece of cake. Well, it made it to me. Okay. Yep. Bye. Oh, great. What did I pushed the wrong button, didn't I? Oh well. If you watched that, I apologize. Yeah, apparently you didn't bother to tell me that it didn't work. Oh. Okay, back to statistics. Among other things, so we did this. So, um, the the treatment group had 19541, that many women in it, and then they had a cardiovascular number of 1357. In the other group, we had 29294 and 2088. What sort of z-test do we want to run here? Number, percentage, or average? Percentage. Yep, we could do number, but that would be a pain. And actually, I don't think we could do number because the samples are two different sizes, so number won't even work. So, what do you get for a percentage? 6.9 and 7.1. Okay, so wait, did I do that backwards? Six, so we, huh, okay. All right. Treatment and control. Okay. So, um, I'm going to say my null is equal and my alternative is control is greater than treatment. All right. So I need to find SDs. I don't have SDs, but it's a percentage, so I can create an SD. So the square root of 6.9 times 1 minus 6.9, or no, point 0, that won't work. So 0.069 times 1 minus 0.069, and I get an SE of, or no, an SD of 0.25. Okay, so I'm going to take the square root, oh no, that's the SE, let's wait. Square root of 0.071 times 1 minus 0.071. So 2.53 and 2.57. So now I find an SE difference, 0.2535 squared plus 0.257 squared. Oh, I didn't divide it. Dang it. You guys need to stop me. So 0.2534. These are SDs, so I need to divide this by the square root of 19541, and then divide by the square root of 29294. So 0.25 divided by the square root of 19541, and I get 0.18%. That's my SE. And then 0.25 divided by the square root of 29294. And turn that into a percentage, it's 0.146%. Now what do I do? I square root the sum of the squares. So 0.179 squared plus 0.146 squared, and I get 0.23%. So now what do I do? Need to find a z-score. So I take my percentages, which is this one minus this one, 0.2. So 0.2 divided by 0.23. So 0.2 divided by 0.23. Oh, that didn't work. And I get a z-score of 0.86, which is less than 1.6. So my area is greater than 5%. We accept the null, which says there's no difference. There is not a statistically significant difference between the treatment and the control. And this sample was huge, right? So are we correct at saying a low-fat diet will prevent strokes and heart attacks? No, we're not. Right, if we checked a low-sugar diet, that might be a big difference. But we have been teaching you, well, you have been taught your whole life, don't eat too much fat. And here's a study of almost 50,000 women who ate a low-fat diet, and there was no difference in how their hearts acted. Okay? So fat does not, um, statistics about fat does not say that high-fat diets are bad for you, bad for your heart. All right. So now we're on 5. A geography test was given to a simple random sample of 25 or 250 high school students. One question involved an outline map of Europe with the countries identified only by number. The students were asked to pick out Great Britain and France. As it turned out, 65.6 could find France compared to 70.4 for Britain. Is the difference statistically significant, or can this be determined from the information given? Why does it ask if it can be determined? It's asking about independence. Is your ability to find France independent to your ability to find France? Okay. Does your choice on the first question affect your choice on the second question? Yes, because why? But right. So you might say you can pick France right and you can pick Britain right, and they don't have anything to do with each other. But what if I label Britain as France? What does that do to my next question? I can't get it right. Right? So they are not independent. They are dependent. Because you have all of these countries in Europe, right? If I called this one France, then I can't call that one Britain. So my second choice depends on my first choice, right? So we cannot do a two-sample z-test because they are not independent. Okay. 6. Some years, the Gallup poll asks respondents how much confidence they have in various American institutions. You may assume that results are based on a simple random sample of 1,000 persons each year. The samples are independent from year to year. In 2005, only 41% of the respondents had a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in the Supreme Court, compared to 50% in 2000. Is there a difference, or can you tell from the information given? So, 0.41 and 0.5. So this SD is going to be 0.49, right? How do I know it's 0.49? It's so close to 1/2. This SD is exactly 0.5. And this one is really close to 0.49. And just to show you, let's do it. 0.41 times 0.59, right? Anything between 50 and 40 will give an SD of 0.49. Okay? So now I need my SEPs. I'm going to divide this by the square root of 1,000. 0.49 divided by the square root of 1,000. And my other one's going to be the same. Oh, wow. I'll get it right. You guys just wait. 10, 100, 1,000. There we go. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get it. So this one gave me 1.55%, and this one gives me 1.58%. Now what? SE difference, square root of 1.55 squared plus 1.58 squared. So 2.21%. So I take 0.5 minus 0.41 is 0.09, or sorry, 9%, I guess. Divide that by 2.21, and I get a z-score of 4. I'm going to shade norm. How come? It could be highly significant. So what was it? 4? 4.07 to 5. And I get 2.3 e negative 5. What does that mean? It means we need to move this 5 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and fill those in with zeros. So this result is highly significant. Now, you have to be careful. That doesn't mean that the percentage is way less than 50%. Right? It does not mean that the percentage is a lot lower than 50. What does it mean? We are very, very, very sure that it's not 50. We are very, very, very sure that it's less than 50. We haven't said anything about how far less it is, but we are very, very, very sure that it's less than 50. Okay? So significant tests can only say yes or no. It doesn't qualify those. So do we think the percentage is less than 50? Yes, definitely. Do we know how far less than 50 it is? No. We just think it's less than 50. Yep. Okay, and B? In '05, only 22% of the respondents had a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in Congress, whereas 24 of the respondents had a great deal or quite a lot in organized labor. Is there a difference? So 22 and 24. So I'll take the square root of 0.22 times 0.78, and I get 0.414, and then the square root of 0.24 times 0.76, and I get 0.427. What are those numbers? Those numbers are SDs. So I need to find SEP. Let's see if I can do it this time. So 0.414 divided by the square root. Got it. So 1.3% and 0.427 divided by the square root of 1,000. And I get 1.35%. Now I square root the sum of the squares. So the square root of 1.3 squared plus 1.35 squared, and I get 1.87%. What is that number? That's my SE difference. So now I subtract. What's the difference between 24 and 22? 2, and I'm just going to call it positive 2, and divide it by 1.87. So 2 divided by 1.87, and I get a z-score of 1. The z-score of 1 means it's less than 1.66, so my area is bigger than 5. So I accept the null, and I say there is no significant difference between those two values. Oh, are you serious? Sorry. So 22% had a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in Congress, whereas 24% of respondents had a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in organized labor. Oh, oops. This is the same year, right? Sorry. I didn't read the whole question. So, is your opinion of Congress influenced by your opinion of organized labor. Definitely. So we're not allowed to do this. Sorry. Thanks for stopping me. Again, that's twice in the same video.